May Almighty's peace be upon you. A very happy morning to everyone. So I know very well that you are waiting for this video session, the last part of lesson 7, human health and diseases. My dear students, so we know very well about what we learned in our last video classes. We were discussing so many things about the diseases and about the antigen-antibody reaction. So in our last class, we discussed about what are the antigen-antibody reactions, structure of antibody, that is immunoglobulin. In that specifically, we discussed IgG, immunoglobulin, G, gamma type we discussed. Do you remember the structure of immunoglobulin? What are the two chains present in them? Yes, it is light chain and heavy chain. How the light chains, two heavy chains, and light chain and heavy chains are connected? Disulfide bonds. Okay. So what are the terminals called as? Terminals. The terminals of the immunoglobulin? N terminal, C terminal. Okay. Then which is constant and which is variable? Of course, the C terminal is constant and the other one, the N terminal, is variable. That is also called as FAB, antigen binding region. These antibodies, it will bind the antigen. So that will differ. That is why we say variable in nature. So all these things we discussed in our last class. Finally, we discussed about the vaccination also. So the types of vaccines, how are vaccines classified, first generation vaccine, second generation vaccine, and now it is third generation vaccine, where we prepare vaccine synthetically in laboratory by DNA recombinant technology. So then we discussed about vaccination also. So my dear students, this last topic, the last part of this class will be very, very interesting because all are general topic. We need not to discuss much about these topics. Even then I'll give you some hints about this topic. Today let's discuss about some of the topics like hypersensitivity, immunodeficiency disease and autoimmune disease. After that we will be discussing about tumor immunology and adolescence, alcoholism, drug abuse. My dear students, let's discuss about hypersensitivity. So hypersensitivity means immediate response. Immediate response will be there. How? For example, if any allergen means allergy causing substances, allergy causing microorganisms. So when they enter, immediately our body will respond. Hope you would have listened from some of your family members. So when they sweep, okay, so when the cleaning process is going on, some people, they do not enter that place, isn't it? They say, I have allergy problem, I'll sneeze continuously, I cannot breathe, breathing problem is there, everything they say, and they say no, that is said to be allergy. So that is some antigen reaction occurring. So immediate reaction occurs when some substances enter. So those substances which causes allergy are called as allergen. So we know very well some dust particles. Even dust particles, they cause allergy, or some pollens when we inhale. Okay, in some cases. So suddenly we immediately respond. Not only this, some chemicals also. You know, sometimes before injecting, they will ask you, isn't it, do you have any allergy towards anything? They will ask, isn't it? So, or they say it is a test injection. We'll just see that whether any problem is there, then we will. So why? Because whether our body is supporting to this. So, or any allergic reaction occurring. So that is why we say hypersensitivity. That is also because of immunoglobulin, our antibodies only. How? So this allergen we discussed, the main immunoglobulin, the antibody reacting for hypersensitivity is IgE. IgE. IgE is involved in allergic reaction and also mast cells. These mast cells, by producing some chemicals, histamine, serotonin likewise, so they form this allergic reaction. So immediate response happens. Can you say some of the allergic reactions? Of course, sneezing, breath problems or breath, they cannot breathe properly. So all such things, even asthma, isn't it? Many factors are there. So everything comes under hypersensitivity. Right? Is it clear? So, but in some cases, even this allergic reaction or hypersensitivity reaction will become fatal. Okay, it will become severe. So, severe allergy, hypersensitivity is called as anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis. So severe. So when the allergic reaction itself is very severe, then it is said to be anaphylaxis. Okay, my dear children. So this is hypersensitivity. Then before discussing immunodeficiency disease, let me tell about autoimmune diseases. Autoimmune diseases, immunity itself our body is giving out. So our body does some immunity, defense mechanism, that is immune. But here what happens? Immune disease, because of that immunity some diseases will be there. What? Confusing, right? Of course. So it is autoimmune disease. Autoimmune disease in the case, so when some when something when the antibodies are produced, the host, that is the body will think it as antigen. Okay, our body cells, that is why we say that we already discussed that there is a self and non-self discrimination is there, whether it is antigen or non-antigen. But sometimes our body reacts, it secretes antibodies, so that causes some of the problems. That is why we say autoimmune diseases, because of our body cells producing some antibodies that will create some problem. Autoimmune. The best example we can say is rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatic disease, have you heard of? So the pains in the joints. So these joints all pains will be there. So rheumatoid arthritis. And multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis is also one of the disease, autoimmune disease. Sometimes genital problem may be there, but always this autoimmune disease occurs in our body cells. Autoimmune diseases can be classified into two: organ specific, non-organ specific. Organ specific means these autoimmune diseases will affect only particular specific organs. For example, Graves' disease, that is related with thyroid, or we can say Addison's disease related with adrenal gland. Likewise, so specific, organ specific, that is why we say organ. Okay, so autoimmune diseases, this is organ specific. The other one is non-organ specific, that is this disease may occur throughout the body anywhere. So earlier I said like rheumatoid arthritis or multiple sclerosis are examples for non-organ specific, that is everywhere it can happen, or we can say it as systemic. Okay, so these are the two classifications in autoimmune diseases. So that is what autoimmune disease. Now let's discuss about immunodeficiency disease. So immune deficiency. So some deficiency is there. So how does this happen? Always everyone will have innate immunity or acquired immunity. Somehow immunity will be there. And what are the cells involved in this immune system? Of course, we know very well that lymphocytes, and particularly B lymphocytes and T lymphocytes take part in this immune system. Now, these immunodeficiency diseases occur. There are many diseases. We are not discussing everything in this class even then. So the immune will be deficient. There will be some deficiency in the immune system. Because of that, the problems occur. Can you say one immunodeficiency disease? From the word itself, The immunodeficiency, when we say, what do we remember? Of course, AIDS, human immunodeficiency virus. So the best example for immunodeficiency virus is HIV. AIDS. Let's discuss immunodeficiency diseases. So immunodeficiency diseases, as I said already, HIV is the best example for immunodeficiency diseases. So HIV, as you know, human immunodeficiency virus. Okay, so it attacks T cells, T helper cells, because this is responsible for our immunity, isn't it? So T cells, it attacks T cells only. So we know more about AIDS, and just giving you a small introduction about AIDS. So if you see the structure, it is a spherical ball. It is a spherical ball, nearly 100 to 120 nanometer in diameter. So a spherical ball. So in this spherical ball, it has two layers, and this layer is comprised of lipoprotein. Okay, it is made up of glycoprotein also, glycoprotein, a sugary substance. That is the speciality of HIV here. So it is like a knob actually. This glycoprotein occurs like knob. So everywhere it is. So here this is GP41, GP120. It is this glycoprotein. They are named as GP41 and GP120. So likewise, so glycoproteins. These glycoproteins only will attach with the body cells actually. So actually, the HIV, when any organism comes, our body tries to attack it. But since it has a sugary substance in it, our body does not recognize it. It will invite. Okay, glycoprotein. And in the middle, there are two single-stranded RNA. Then reverse transcriptase is attached with this single-stranded RNA. Totally, this RNA is present in our capsule protein. So fully capsule protein is present, and this is covered by matrix protein. So generally, we know very well that virus, when we speak about virus, protein is there, nucleic acid and protein. So this is capsule protein and matrix protein. This is the general structure of HIV.
The human immunodeficiency virus belongs to the genus lentivirus. So it is 100 to 120 nanometer in diameter, a spherical virus containing a dense core surrounded by lipoprotein envelope. You can see glycoprotein spikes termed as GP41 and GP120. At the core, there are two large single-stranded RNA. Attached to RNA are molecules of reverse transcriptase and contains enzymes like protease and ribonuclease also. The core is covered by a capsid made of proteins called as capsule proteins, and there is another layer of matrix proteins as shown in the figure.
Now, how is HIV transmitted? We would have learnt in our earlier classes itself, isn't it? So for better understanding, I'll tell you HIV. HIV only we are studying, isn't it? Homo hetero sex. So homo sex or hetero sex. Unsafe sex with patients who have AIDS, or sex with multiple partners. So homo or hetero sex. Remember intravenous. H you can think as horizontal also. Okay. So horizontal, homosex or heterosex. I is intravenous. Intravenous means blood. Intravenous, through veins. So through veins, through blood it is transmitted. Blood products, all fluids, it is transmitted. V is vertical. Vertical means from mother to child through placenta. mother to child through placenta. So by this HIV is transmitted. Now what happens when HIV enters the body? So it will locate the T helper cells and it will denature the T helper cells. It attacks T cells only. So when it attacks, what happens? The immune system of our body will be reduced. So they cannot act against it. So again, so the persons may get fever, diarrhea, night sweats, even some symptoms like tuberculosis, pneumonia, all, so everything comes. So these are some of the symptoms of AIDS. How can it be detected? Of course, by blood test. By blood test, and one particular blood test is ELISA, enzyme linked immunosorbent assay. Enzyme linked immunosorbent assay proves that the person has AIDS. And Western blot technique. Western blotting is a technique. By Western blotting, we can understand that the AIDS is present. So, is there any medicine for AIDS? No, there is no medicine. Only we can prolong the life. That's all. Azithromycin, some drugs are available to prolong the life, but we do not have any drugs for AIDS. So, what is the measure then? Preventive measure. Only thing is prevention. So, be good, be disciplined. That's the important thing. And whenever during the transfusion of bloods or when any body fluids are transmitted, we should understand that AIDS may spread through these body fluids. So understand that. Then by creating awareness in the public. Okay, by creating awareness in the public. So these are some of the measures by which AIDS can be reduced. So it can be stopped. So the main thing is, when we learn about AIDS, we should understand that if we are disciplined, nothing will be there. So be disciplined, and we should educate the people to be disciplined. The next topic is tumor immunology. Tumor. So generally when we say tumor, it is nothing but group of cells whose growth is unchecked. It is not checked. Some abnormal growth of cells, we can say. That is tumor. So those tumors, sometimes what happens, they travel to other parts and it affects the other parts also. The tumor develops in some other parts also. Such case is called as metastasis. Metastasis. Then these tumors, it may be benign or malignant. Benign tumor in the sense, if a tumor is developed in a particular place, it will be there in that particular place only. It will not go anywhere. But malignant tumor, some of the cells detach from that part, goes to some other parts and develops tumor in that part also. So that is malignant tumor. So what we can do for this? Nothing we can do. Only thing is, surgery can be done. By surgery, we can remove the tumor, one thing, or chemotherapy can be given. Immunotherapy, some drugs can be given and can stop the growth. Immunotherapy. Radiotherapy, by radiations it can be done. What is the reason for this cancer? Point number one, radiations. So even the sun's rays, many radiations cause cancer, one thing. Second thing, poor food habit. Poor food habit causes the cancer. Third reason, unknown. We do not say, we cannot say anything. So that is also there. And to say specifically, when we speak about these tumors, the normal cells divide in a particular speed only, but cancer cells abnormally, it divides rapidly, fastly, and there will be a shape for normal cells, but for cancer cells, abnormal shape. Then we can say the nucleus will be prominent and cytoplasm will be more in normal cells. But in cancer cells, the nucleus will be large sized and cytoplasm size is reduced. So these are some of the differences between normal cells and cancer cells. So let's pray God that everyone should be safe from this cancer. And there are many cases that cancer patients are cured.
As we were discussing benign and malignant tumors, benign tumor grows only locally and will not spread, but malignant tumor invade other cells also. Now let's see the differences between normal cell and cancer cell. You can see the normal cells are small, uniformly shaped, but cancer cells are large, variable shaped nuclei. And normal cells, they are conformity in cell size and shape. They are arranged in discrete tissues, but cancer cells, there is variation in cell size and shape and disorganized. Normal cell, they possess differentiated cell structures, but in cancer cells, normal specialized features are lost. And cancer normal cells, lower level of dividing cells, cell tissues clearly demarcated, but in cancer cells, large number of dividing cells, poorly defined tumor boundaries are seen.
Final part of the lesson. I'm giving you a small introduction only. The remaining you should go through and learn it. It is related with the drug abuse, adolescence. So during this adolescent period, that is the early puberty stage, from the puberty stage till the teens. So there, these boys and girls, they expect some peer enjoyment, peer group enjoyment. So if the peer group is good enough, then their life will be better. Sometimes what happens, they become addicted to alcohol. So drugs. So some of the drugs generally the people use are opioids, cannabinoids, cocaine, barbiturates, LSD, etc. etc. So opioids, you know, opium, morphine. Morphine was once used as as anesthetic also. During the surgery time it was used, but not now. Okay, so they affect the intestine, stomach part. And secondary cannabinoids, these drugs, cannabinoids from in Tamil we can say kanja, likewise. So these type of plants, they again they'll suppresses our nervous system. Then cocaine, hope you would have seen iron film, where the cocaine powder, it's a drug, heavy drug, which causes, it is a central nervous system will be collapsed by this. And barbiturates, LSD, etc. etc. Many things are there. So all these are drugs which affect our body system. So totally it's our body system. Some hallucination occurs. Hallucination in the sense they do not know what they are speaking, what they are doing. Isn't it? So such things happen. And even tobacco. Tobacco, it is used in smoking, chewed, snuffed, everything, all types of tobacco are there. Of course, it causes lung cancer, lung problems, this tobacco. So all such things. So even after knowing everything, the people are addicted to it. That's a great sorrowful thing. And we should understand that we should not go even to check what is that. Okay, we should stop that. It is 100% forbidden. Not only for the students, for everyone, it is forbidden. And secondary, alcohol, when we speak also, alcoholism. Alcoholism, when the persons consume alcohol, one thing, their total nervous system gets collapsed, and they do not know what they do, they become addicted, everything. Secondary, the lung cells will be damaged. Sorry, the liver cells will be damaged. So, liver cirrhosis occurs. Finally, totally the person will die. So, alcoholism is also a very great problem for this. So, what can we do as students? As a students, only thing, we should take a oath that we will not touch any of these types. Number one. Number two, we should educate people related to the harmful effects of this drugs and alcohol. Number three, we should have good set of friends. Friends who guide us, not to misguide us. Then number four, we should seek help from parents and educationalists, teachers, parents also. We should speak. If you have any doubt, you should ask your parents, teachers, and clarify everything. Then even NGOs are acting for it. And finally, if some are addicted, rehabilitation centers are there. Even psychiatrists, psychologists, they speak and they bring out these type of people. Finally, my dear students, mental health is very important. So when we discuss about human health and diseases, it is not that only the body parts. Mental health is very, very important, where we should keep our mind pure and clean. So self-esteem, that is, we should like ourselves. Positive vibration should come from us. We should not think anything negativity. So if so, then again many problems occur. So whatever we know about alcoholism or using the drugs, we know insomnia, restlessness, and many things are there. You can read out from the book. Same, even mental health is not there. These type of somewhat a fear occurs when the mental health is not good. So be friendly with others, speak out. So just share your feelings, so your mental health also be good. And my dear students, the last part of the lesson, I'm leaving it to you to go through what is given in the book and answer the assignment questions. So may Almighty save every one of us from all types of diseases, all types of problems, and keep us healthy. Health is wealth. See you in next class. Thank you.